Good morning, everybody. I think you must be exhausted from all these talks for 4 or 5 days. I couldn't do that. I did it before. They gave me this nice title, Higher Education and Employability is the knowledge economy-driven economy, the opportunity. In the knowledge economy-driven economy, the opportunities for jobs are unlimited. That's a little bit in contradiction, which I heard left and right this morning, that there will be a shortage of jobs. That's not true. So I provoke a little bit to start, to get you awake. Yes, jobs enough, but there's always a but, eh? You have to be in the right place. And when I came in this morning, you are living in Singapore, and before in New York, a little bit what I did. And I'm always telling my kids and grandkids and everybody, the best thing is to live in a couple of places. I couldn't live in the United States. I lived there 20 years. Couldn't live only in Europe. I like to be all over the world and see the good things. Live in a couple of places, please. A couple of introductions, observations. This is the bloody mistake we made. We lived too long on that globe. It's a very slow process. We had to wait 24 hours before it was back again. Ridiculous, huh? I was very happy to meet this guy, Thomas Friedman, in New York, the columnist, famous guy. And finally, he came out with that phenomenal book in 2005. Then we awaked. The world is flat. We didn't know that. Can you believe it? And not only flat, it's digital, it's wireless, it's mobile. Wow. Sometimes young entrepreneurs come to me and say, Martin, the market. 4 billion customers from the 7 billion we're living on this world, and always growing. And on top of that, what I see is that the GDP, the world growth, is still continuing. This year, not so much, 3%, but there is growth. More and more customers. So what's your problem? If you have a good product, if you have a good service. This is Kimago, and I come to that. The world is driven by knowledge, the knowledge economy driven. Look, the greener, the better. So there you like to be. I'm coming to that. See, if you take the green things and I look, for example, to bio, I see exactly where knowledge is. There you will see concentrations of biohubs. And I can do that for ICT, I can do that for materials. Let me be a little bit clear. Well, let me go on this. I love this Skimago. They plotted up to now more than 5,000 institutes. Universities, research centers, CERN Geneva, you name it. And I think up to now they cover already roughly 90% of the whole knowledge in this world. That's everything, roughly everything. So they know exactly what is going on. In the United States, you have 746 institutes. In Russia, 138. In my country, 27, etc., etc. Now, let me see. I'm not going to show you this. There is the knowledge. There you like to live. Has a problem a little bit for Africa, and I hope they will come in, but not in the next 10 years. Similar for South America, little problem. The big thing is in the United States and Europe. I lived quite some time at the West Coast. Wow, living in these fantastic Stanfords and Berkeleys, or East Coast, the Yales, the Harvard, you name it. And then in Europe. So why the hell we don't go together as soon as possible, United States and Europe, the strongest power in the world. So we could compete with China and India in the next years to come. Then I come to this map. You like to live on this axe somewhere, or on several spots on this axe. And that axe starts in Canada. Knowledge economies are there, the regions are there, goes into the United States, goes into Europe, to Moscow. It's not exactly true, Moscow. I'm teaching there quite a bit. They're still not there, but I cannot say that, and I hope that they are not listening here. And you go to Israel, and you go a little bit to China and India and South Korea, and so on and so on. That's the place where you like to live and work. That's it. And my wife made a beautiful spot out of that. These are the hubs. It's not the United States. It's not Europe. It is in regions where you like to live and work and study and amuse yourself. And of course, another observation is we are going to an entrepreneurial society. Yes, we know that. It's over with these big companies. We like them very much, but a lot of people like the entrepreneurial climate. I was on a meeting in 2009 in New Delhi where we discussed that, the economists. We are going definitely to an entrepreneurial society. By the way, I have two sons working for two big companies, so I shouldn't say that too loud. Innovation is changing, yeah, of course. It's going very... It's the new form of competition of this century. Don't talk me about labor cost and location and so on. No, no, it's innovation. That is the competitive thing which we have to use all the time. It's going very fast. If I awaken this morning, I put on my computer, I see fantastic things all over the world. We see broader collaboration between disciplines. We see the IP is the most important things which we have. Collaboration of good regions, not bad regions. And of course, open innovation. And then, of course, there is disruptive society where we are living in. Disruptive companies challenge the norm and shake up their industries, leaving competitors struggling to catch up, and it's their problem. They should have seen it. They didn't see it. And here you see the old economy. We had in Belgium 4 or 5 production plants for cars. They are gone. We had textile and steel. Even I put telecom there. I'm thinking a little bit about Nokia. Call centers, conventional banking. Can you imagine that we still run with plastic cards in our wallet? Can you imagine? This is middle age. Marketing is changing completely. Completely. I've seen nothing. And then you see, of course, all my good friends on that end with Uber and Airbnb. And wow, this is what it is. And I was very lucky to meet all of these people. I met Elon Musk and I met Jeff Bezos and Pierre Omidyar. Wow, this is another type of business people than what we knew. And of course, then the new unicorns. I have a lot of friends who moved to San Francisco. Not anymore to the Bay Area. San Francisco. There you see these unicorns. And I visited recently Uber. 62 billion. No, it's already 75 billion. So I talked to the boss and he said, the market capitalization is 75 billion. What? 75 billion? He said, what's the taxi industry worth? I said, I have no idea. 25 billion. How much would you give for a taxi driver here in the street? Maybe a second-hand car. But for his business, I give nothing. Zero. So this is it. I see somewhere Flipkart. I mentioned it this morning. The guys from India, Sunit Pony. Unbelievable what they are doing in new marketing and new e-commerce. You won't believe it. You have seen nothing in e-commerce. You have seen nothing. So a lot has to come. And ever see this? These are patterns measured on diversity and momentum. That's a little bit the world. That's it. But it's a little bit too confusing. Let me show you United States. Wow. A lot of interesting places. There is Silicon Valley. It's still the best in the world. You cannot compete with them, so stay away there. These are the guys which have critical mass. These are my friends. And they live in Boston, and they live in Alabama, and they live in San Diego, left and right. Not in America, in regions, very specific regions. This is Europe. That's not good. That's not good. We are working on that. I give you a couple of examples. For example, Boston. I love Boston. I studied for some time at that little small place, MIT. And those days, we had the electronic industry, the computers, and blah, 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 blah. That changed completely. Today, it's life sciences. You don't believe me? This is the place. You won't believe it, the number of companies and institutes we have set up there. They have today, working in that arena, 63,000 jobs. By the way, one of these high added value jobs gives me 5 indirect good jobs. We forgot that in the discussions which I was listening to. Bill Gates told me once it's 7. We did a study in Leuven, it's 4.6. So let's have 5. The 60,000 there gives you another 300,000 top interesting jobs. Yeah? Now stay in your share. The 63,000 jobs, the payroll is 9 billion. Average salary 147,000. Can you imagine? And you have assistants of 50,000 and 60 and technician of 70,000. But this is mind-boggling. But pure reality. In infrastructures, they moved from 16 million to 25 square million. So that's good for the construction business. That's good for people who make the labs. That's good for everybody. So a lot of interesting indirect jobs. The magic Silicon Valley, I'm in love with that valley. There it is. It's not a geographical area, it's a state of mind. It's here, not that land. Of course, I can feel the land if I'm landing there. Some figures, but important is the unemployment is zero, believe me. The unemployment is zero. If you don't like, 1 out of every 4 jobs is a high added value jobs. That is number one. In the place where I live in Leuven, it's 1 out of 5. We are coming very close to that. There's where I live, Leuven. But we know that we have to look into the direction of Eindhoven in the Netherlands and Aachen in Germany. Unbelievable power in R&D and top-notch companies. The best knowledge-driven economy region in Europe. I'm so very sorry if there are other people here. We created many, many jobs. I'm not going in depth in that. Oxford, London, Cambridge, and my friend Ellen is here, and we had a whole day yesterday discussing this fantastic phenomena. We love it. We started in Cambridge, and then we thought about Oxford, and then we joined with London. Unbelievable opportunities. There it is. The best of the best of the best which you can imagine. All these good universities, see Cambridge, UCL. We just said yesterday night, when it was late when we had those beers, I wrote a book on Nobel Prizes. In my time it was 89, it's already 91 Nobels from the 850. Only in one, 92, sorry, all is always coming. 92 Nobels from the 850, can you believe it? I'm coming quite a bit these days in Israel. Wow. That book, you have to read it, whether you like it or not, Startup Nation. And I know the guys, Siner and Singer. I met Singer a couple of weeks ago in Tel Aviv. Wow, a new book is coming out, by the way. If you see them, they are in the top of the top of the top. And I'm working mostly with these universities, Weizmann, Ben Gurion, Technion. Technion has a problem because there's some fire in Haifa. I hope nothing will happen there. Unbelievable opportunities. I know the president of Weizmann very well. He's a Belgian, by the way, Daniel Zuifman. And then I say, Daniel, how you get these top people, all these patents and so on? Then he tells me, Martin, he said, we take the best brains. I think he puts them 10 times in the scanner. 2, they should be communicative. A lot of scientists cannot express themselves that well. And 3, the passion, the passion, the passion. If not, you're not coming in his institute. Nevertheless, mainstream and substream, I like to conclude with this, a little bit provocative, but that's the new book I'm writing, so you get this in avant-première. I'm a strong believer that for the next 10 years, we will see a knowledge economy. It will be driven by plus minus 150 companies. Don't tell me next year, Matthijs, there are 200. I'm working today on 150 companies. I'm putting them under the loop. I'm watching very, very carefully what is going on. In US, China, and so on. I take an example here, a company like Apple and Qualcomm. What do I see? I see from Apple, big revenues, 233 billion, wow. I see the profit, 53, wow. The assets, the market cap, number of people, by the way, 110,000. And then the last, Tim Cook. As good as Steve Jobs, believe me. And we all said when Steve Jobs will disappear, wow, wow, wow. Tim Cook is top. I take Qualcomm, smaller company, but wow. In wireless, the best in the world. Driven by a strong man, Paul Jacobs. So I'm making that matrix. There it is. No. Yeah, maybe let me go there. That's the matrix. It's still not complete. There will be 150, so read my book in a couple of months. And you see a variety of top-notch companies. You see the Apples and the Yahoos, you see Nike, you see Gilead, you see ASML, you see Alibaba. Unbelievable power of companies. You won't believe, if I have to put a market cap on it, it's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. But that's not interesting. The point is, driven by very strong individuals. All of them. Very, very strong individuals. Then sometimes people tell me, Martin, then it's over with Europe. No, it's not over. Not at all. There we are, and that's my last slide, because I'm running out of time. I see 10, 12 substreams on that mainstream. And we can do miracles in smaller communities in robotics, in e-commerce, in fintech, in cybersecurity, in autonomous cars, in sensors, in energy storage, etc., etc. And that is the power of what we are doing these days. So top education, don't worry. We have jobs in abundance if you are in the right spot. Don't stay in your little village. Move to Silicon Valley. Move to Tel Aviv. Move whatever. Jobs enough. Try to specialize in very specific fields. And there I think we will do miracles in the next 10 years. And I'm pretty sure for the next 20 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Martin. Switched on. Thank you. We have time for one question, if anyone's got any. Madam here.
Hi. You said that innovation is the key factor in competition.
Yep.
And then you showed us a picture with the innovation hubs in Europe, and it didn't look so good. I work in politics, so for me the question, of course, is what can we do on a political level to enhance the situation for Europe?
Very, very difficult question. Very, very difficult question. I'm following this for years and years and years. I'm looking to the map in Europe. Not that we are that bad in Europe, not at all. But we don't have these big critical mass like we have in Silicon Valley, like we have in Boston, etc. So we have to let these bubbles which we have, let them grow. I gave the example of my town, Leuven, where we do miracles in knowledge-driven economy. And we have to scale that model. So we look into Eindhoven, we look into Aachen, and we get a better thing. That's maybe what Europe should do, and I talk sometimes to the people there, and I see them doing things in several cities, in Sofia, in the new countries. Maybe it's not the best that we build buildings there, naast R&D centers. No. We have to look to the content, and we have to define the niches a little bit better. Today, for Europe, it's too fragmented. Everything is there. We have the best universities, we have the best educational systems, we have everything which is so fantastic, but we have to concentrate a little bit more on very specific niches. We cannot do everything. I can answer that, but read my books. I wrote a couple of books on this subject.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martin, very much. Here's a gift from us.
Thank you so much.